Hey folks, Mac T, and I'm back. I said I'd do a Mac T live, and basically that's what I'm here for. The main topic that we're really going to discuss here in a minute or so is the Redline, and of course, what was that? The Amsoil. Did a little bit of research because there are some very fictional accounts. I even checked Wikipedia, checked online. There's a lot of stuff, but overall, the oil combination has everybody in a myth. That's all I can say for now. But a little housekeeping first. The group is doing great. As far as MACTFORDEDGE, I'm thinking January MACTFORDEDGE will be the largest group for Ford Edge on Facebook. Yes, we are nearly there. And all I need is about another 100 members or so, and bang, Bob's your uncle will be in there. But keep on inviting others to the group, to the channel, and everything else that helps it grow, helps everything going. But want to move on. I envision this tens of thousands of members because there's a lot of Ford Edge owners out there. I think we provide a valuable service to all of you to help you and walk you through your repairs so that you can save a few of those duckies, right? We all like to save duckies. So that's really what the whole point behind all this is. And I really do enjoy helping people. And I think there are probably members in this group that know that. Okay. So anyway, moving on forward, a few other things. A lot of people are going and getting busy with Christmas and New Year's and everything else. So I myself, me and my family are heading north. Yes, north in the winter. Holy cow, I should head south. But anyway, headed up north, go visit Grandma. That's right. Kids got to see Grandma. And they're going to swim and go bowling and all this other stuff. So a little on my personal side there. We're just going to have a great New Year's. Probably end up staying an extra day because it looks like they're having an ice storm on the day of our departure. So I might have to extend it one more day. You think the girls are going to complain having a swimming pool and hotel room for an extra day? I doubt it. So anyway, that's what we're going to be doing. And having some other things going on. And I posted earlier, and you guys can tell me in the comment section what your experiences are, but I went out to I think 2 different dealerships. I was looking for another vehicle, number 4, and trying to find a used, inexpensive Ford Escape. So got online, cars.com. Yeah, everything's happy-go-lucky. Saw, I think it was a 2012 and Ford Escape with a V6 all-wheel drive. And went out and we looked at it. I ran it. I put my foreskin on it and checked it all out. And it was running good. Only problem is it had a slight tapping sound or a knocking. This is a 3.0 liter 3.0 Duratec, and it was going tick, 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 really loud. And when it started, and as it warmed up, it got a little better. That was a big flag to me. And then I looked under, it had some rust and some other stuff going on, and then it had an accident on the left front. It's always the left front. You ever notice that? The accident's always the left front. Don't know why. Who knows? Somebody's hitting somebody. Anyway, driver's side accident, they repaired that. And had a little squeal going on with the belts. So, yeah, a lot of flags for me, less than 100,000 miles, I think, was on it. And I just got the idea that this thing was rode hard and put away wet. And we did a test drive. During the test drive, acceleration was loud. The engine was loud. Just didn't get a warm fuzzy out of it. Nope. And ultimately, the guy was basically offering $9,700 for it, if we bought it. And I said, okay, thanks, write the number on the card and we'll get a hold of you. So anyway, went to the local car dealership. The first one was one of those, car dealerships that's on the side of the road. Not quite buy here, pay here, but pretty close. Once in a while you find a gem in there, but, pretty tough. Anyway, went to the local car dealership across the street from me, Ford dealership, and they pull in there, and then we stop and ask about this 2012 Ford Banger front-wheel drive Ford Escape. I think it was like a little 2.5 in it or something like that, and cloth seats, about as basic as you can get. Okay, and I thought, well, really a four-banger running around town, taking her to work and back. It ain't like she's highway traveling with this thing. It's just something to get to work. And they were asking 11.9 for it. Holy cow! And I said, okay. So we test drove it. And she really liked it while she was test driving. She thought it was she said it was a bit of a dog, but other than that, it ran pretty good. And it got warm, and then the AC, we didn't check the AC because it was the middle of winter. But, overall, everything seemed to be working. The engine's checking out. It's running smooth. No noises. It is a pretty good little deal. But the price wasn't there. So, I offered 8. I says, I ain't paying more than 8 for this thing. And so anyway, we're sitting there waiting, and pretty soon the old boy selling us, he, good salesman, he's friendly. Of course, he had one goal in mind: be friendly, get a sale, right? So anyway, we did that. And he came back with his manager. He says, man, I'm sorry, but while you were driving it, the internet offer on that vehicle was accepted and it's sold. So they probably made money off of that thing. Who knows? But anyway, they took it away and put it over in their sold area, because they do have a sold area. Whether they did that for my account or not, I don't know. But I'm going to assume they're honest. I bought 2 or 3 cars from them. So as it goes, they says, well, we have a 2011 Limited front-wheel drive. So I go and I start checking the 2011 Limited front-wheel drive. Hear it running, the engine's running good. We decided not to drive it because I just said, I'll drive it later. Let's go talk money first, and then do some research on the vehicle and the whole point. So the guy's more than willing to, and I basically gave him an offer. I says, well, Limited, it's a year older, 87, because it's got a lot of good accoutrements to it. So, and it ran good, I mean, as far as idling and everything. So, we started working on the price, and they wanted 87. So I says, well, before I sign anything, I want to see the Oasis on it. And he sort of stumbled around and didn't really say, oh, the Oasis. I got a Carfax, though. I don't know if he didn't know what an Oasis was or what, but anyway, he ultimately produced a Carfax, and he said, well, it had one accident. It was minor, and I looked at it, and it said, accident, left front, airbag deployment. Red flag, again. I'm telling you, that to me, that's a red flag. If the airbags are going off, that was a hard hit. So the airbag had went off, they had repaired it, and then I started going through, and they had some other maintenance issues they were taking care of. They took care of the recall on it for the fuel pump, and then I read just 6 months prior to us looking at it, had another left front accident, but this time no airbag deployment, but it did have to, again, get repaired in the left front. What's up with these left front accidents? Holy cow. People not looking where they're going when they turn left? Anyway, and yeah, by the way, turning left is your most dangerous turn you're ever going to make on the roadway, so keep that in mind. Anyway, left turn again, left front again, and I told him, I says, you know what, the highest I'm willing to go is 8 on this thing. That's it, And to me, this seems like a salvage title on top of it. So I says, I really have doubts. And while he's going back to his manager, they always got to go back to the manager. I don't know why, but they do. Apparently, they got to get, work out what their commission is if they do this or that or the other thing. I don't know. But anyway, while I'm waiting, my mother-in-law takes off to answer a phone call. I leave the desk. I go outside. And lo and behold, while I'm outside checking it out again, I look underneath the left front, and guess what I see dripping out of it? I see transmission fluid dripping out of the left front axle. And I say, third call, this thing is toast. And I went back in, waited for the guy to come in, and he says, well, we'll go 82. And I says, no, we're not going anywhere because as far as I'm concerned, that is a junk vehicle. The transmission is out in the parking lot, leaking transmission fluid where it sits. He says, this is a no-go. Not doing it. So anyway, we walked out. He gave us his card. I said, if you got something that's worth buying, give us a call. If you don't have anything worth buying, and you know I'm going to go down low, then don't give us a call. That's all I told him. And we walked away and then decided that we'd live to shop another day. One day I will get another vehicle. Still looking, still searching. Something economic, needed mostly for my mother-in-law to drive to work. Because it's hard for two women, kids, wife. She wants to go places. Mother-in-law has to go places. They only got one car to share, and they're all going the opposite direction. So there's a lot of fiascos going on with that. So, for the family dynamic, we do need another vehicle, and neither one of them, or I should say both of them, refused to learn how to drive my Rufus Ranger. So Rufus just sits there neglected in the parking lot, rusting and depreciating on the weekdays until weekends when I get home and I drive it. So that's pretty much where it's at, and we're going there. Now, y'all probably still going, gosh darn it, Bill, you still haven't talked about the oil. Well, I thought that was a neat little story, and I wanted to tell you all about it. But, what can I say? We're going to go ahead and talk about the oil, I guess. Everybody wants to sell me their edge now. I'm not looking exactly for an edge. I'm looking for something different in this case. Okay. For me or my wife, it's going to be an edge. For my mother-in-law, it's going to be something smaller because she has to pay for the gas out of her, what she makes on her part-time job. So we got to make sure things are economic and small, and she likes a little smaller vehicle. Plus, it gives me an opportunity to make videos on a different platform. That's right. Anyway, that's really what, we're doing there. So, yeah, not necessarily, it'd have to be a really good value edge. And I'm not willing to go down to a first gen. I've already done first gen. So it's just not there. We're not going to do that. Anyway, Redline oil and Amsoil. What is the group? You guys can answer in the comments here. I'm going to ask you, is Redline a group 5 Ester oil, or is it a group 4 PAO? Question number 2, is Amsoil a group 5 Ester or a group 4 PAO? Answer in the comments here for me. Yes, a MACTFORDEDGE on Facebook. You guys can answer these questions live. So give me your best shot. I want to know what you guys think, what group oil this is. Now, just so you can get, before we get the answer, a group 1 is basically, just almost crude oil. It's been refined for motor oil. It's basically a conventional oil is what it really is. Your group 2 and your group 3 are differently refined. Group 2 would be like a de-waxed oil with different type of chemicals or whatever, and some mild hydrocracking done to it. And usually it's a heavy paraffinitic oil is what it would be. Then you got your light paraffinitic oil, which then would be, your group 3. Okay, that means this went through more of a heat treating, cracking process, chemical. They've cleaned it up, de-waxed it, and it's more. And the oils, the group 2 and 3, are essentially nothing more than mineral oil. Okay, either light or heavy mineral oil. They're all made from petroleum products. Whereas then you get up to the group 4, PAO, polyolefinic alphanetic. I can't even say it. PAO. It's essentially a chemical process that has been developed, and it's been around a long time. Yeah, it ain't new to the world, but it has its qualities. You know, PAO is really good at handling heat. But however, it is not good at holding on to additives. Yeah, it doesn't do additives real well, but it does handle heat good, and it does have a pretty good lubricity to it. Ester, group 5 oils, doesn't handle heat as well, but it is really good at clinging on to those additives and dispersing them through. So that ought to give you a clue where we're going. But as far as what we're looking at, as far as the Redline and even the Amsoil. Now I'm going to tell you, I was going to jump the gun, and then I was told by a couple of key friends that I need to pull back on the reins. Yes, because I was jumping to conclusions, and I really wasn't, as it turns out, but I was. It's sort of six one way, half dozen another. Anyway. I decided on one of my long drives, why not call Redline up and get the word direct from the quote-unquote horse's mouth? So that's exactly what I did. I called up Redline, and then didn't get a hold of anybody. Then, of course, they called back. I called back, got it all through, and then I ended up talking to a gentleman named Dave. Now, I told Dave that I had read some SDSs, and I was concerned about the quality of the product and what it actually was. Now, if you go on Wikipedia, yeah, you can check it out yourself. Type in Redline oil, and you will see that Redline oil in Wikipedia says it is an ester oil. Not a PAO, it is an ester. That's what it says right there, according to Dave. According to my SDSs that I had, which were, he wasn't willing to, let's put it this way, my whole conversation, he wasn't willing to prove anything on paper, but he was trying to sell me off on it, and I'll accept his explanation, but he did fuzzy logic on me, so I'm just relating the conversation on the Redline. But what it came down to is I said, hey, it says here that your oil is primarily PAO on the SDS, and up to 90% PAO. And he says, well, the SDS isn't correct. I says, well, then what is it? And Dave says, well, it is a PAO, and it is an ester. And I says, well, how much PAO and how much ester? And the conversation went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And ultimately, I got him to admit that Redline is majority PAO, but the not almost, or how do you ever want to say it, it is also at least 40 to 45% ester. So the majority is PAO, with the second majority being, an ester. So in other words, let's just say that I got out of the conversation that Redline is a 50% PAO and a 45% ester synthetic blend. That's what Redline is. It is not all ester. In other words, basically, if we had to classify it, it ain't an ester, it ain't a PAO, it's a blend with a majority PAO. So then the additives make up that other small percentage of it. So if you all believed, and I did, that Redline was an ester, then we're all wrong. Redline is a blend of group 4 and group 5 oils, and then additives that are put on top of that. So that is the full story on your Redline, according to Dave, who works for Redline. And, like I said, he sort of fudged his answers a bit there, but he wasn't willing to say it was all Ester. Okay, so that being said, it is primarily PAO with a backup blend of about 45% of ester in your Redline. And then the chemical is then enhanced by the additives. And that is the final answer for the Redline. And I did ask him about the Amsoil. And the Amsoil, all he would say is they are right there with us. In other words, what he's saying is that Amsoil, a very secretive organization they are. It's hard to find it. They put out the information they want us to see. But Amsoil, he said, since they're their competitor, he wouldn't say what percentage they are, but he would hint that their oil is nearly what Redline does. In other words, Amsoil is not a proprietary Group 5 ester oil either. Amsoil is also a blend of PAO and ester, and I tend to want to believe the guy, mostly because, I think you gain too much by having a blended oil. You have the additive carrying capabilities ester, and you got the protection and heat resistance of a PAO. To me, it's a no-brainer. Why not mix the two? So, but Amsoil is not an ester, only oil either. So both these oil companies, Amsoil and Redline, are essentially Group 4-5 blends. They're not all ester, but necessarily they're not all PAO either. So here's two companies, they're in competition with each other, that are blending their oils to come up with the best oil for us. And that sort of makes sense, in that. So if you are a believer in all ester, not there, it's not going to happen. But a blend of the two does make sense. In my research that I've checked on, this blending process is probably the best bang for our buck, because ester is very expensive. On the market, any ester-based oil is adding to the price. PAO is, of course, more expensive. Your run-of-the-mill Group 2, Group 3 oils, yeah, you're going to get those really cheap at Wally World and every place else. That's you get what you pay for, essentially, from my checking on things. So if the oil is really cheap, that means you got a really low, group oil in there that they got at a good price, and then they just made up for it with additives. And that's really what it comes down to, because I've determined that additives also get ate up pretty quick too in my oil testing on MACTgarage.com and also MACTgarage on Facebook. You can check all that out there, because that's where I primarily moved all my oils to as far as testing and everything else. I want that channel to succeed, and I do ask that you all subscribe to MACTgarage on YouTube. Help me out, folks. I'm still begging. I've only managed to grow at 100 members or subscribers, and I need another 600 because I'm not making any money on this, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle making videos and getting nothing back. And, if you guys want to help with the testing, donate money towards paying for the oil and the oil lab test, that'd be helpful, because I'm getting nothing out of this, and it's nothing but out of pocket, directly out of pocket. So things will slow down in that aspect, because not making money on it at all. Not that I do make money, but I'm not even making enough to pay for what I'm doing. So that's coming directly out of pocket. So anyway, that's my oil testing on there. I do have some Amsoil testing that I did do quite a while back, and I will probably do a video on the Amsoil and how it turned out used, and then I think I got a Redline test too. I'm going back into my archives. I'm pulling out all the stuff that I tested that I've never made a video on to show you what it did on the Ford Edge as far as that goes, and turned out to be a pretty good oil. But otherwise, I think it worked out pretty good. I'm just having a great day. But I don't know what else you guys have questions on there. Overall, I'm glad you all are on here and having a good time. But gonna go ahead. I got another video to make and then post, and then I think you guys will like it. I'm posting it on MACTFORDEDGE this time. It is an oil video, but it is not an oil testing video. All oil testing videos will be on MACT Garage on YouTube and also MACT Garage on Facebook. So again, I reiterate, if you want to see them there, that's where you're going to go. Otherwise, I'm going to let y'all go because I want to make this next video and get it posted up here in the group because it will probably be one of my last videos for the year. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing any more or not, but I think this will probably be my last whimper out. Like I said, I'm going up north, going to be in a hotel, going to spend some time with the grandma and the family and everybody else. And I wish you all a very merry and happy New Year. If I don't get on there, but of course I will be on Facebook and everything else too. So look forward to that. But that being said, I think it's time to enjoy the new year. So I want you all to enjoy the new year too. And of course, watch my videos when you're not doing anything. But anyway, have a great time as MACT. And remember to Band of One, play some great music, join up and subscribe, donate, etc., to MACTFORDEDGE on Facebook, YouTube, and also MACTGarage.com. Go there for your parts needs and all sorts of information on there. Buy those t-shirts and stickers that you see on the social tab. And if you're not a current member, go there and hit not the join button, but the map button. Get yourself added to the map so we have all the members located and you guys can learn where each other live and help each other if you got help and need help with your Ford Edge. My feet hit the floor today and I'm having a great day and I want you to have a great day too. And Mercy Girl has a couple of one-liners for you. Maybe I might throw a little bonus footage at the end.